Opening the hood. Here's our brake rotor. There was our brake rotor. Hello everybody, good day to you. Welcome back. Glad you guys are here. I know, I'm super glad to be here. This right here is a 2004 Chevrolet Silverado, a single cab short bed work truck with a 4.3 liter V6. Customer states engine stalls, hard starting, lack of power, and a few other things. So let's see if we can't duplicate their concerns. Starting. The engine. Oh yeah, this thing's super rough. Super running rough at 174,560 miles on the odometer. It's got the check engine light. It's got the little engine, the 4.3. Something's wrong with it. Let's bust out the scanning device here. Power this unit on. Beep. And see what we've got to work with. I'm pretty sure this thing has lived a very rough life. It looks like it's been working very hard for a very long amount of time. While that scan tool's powering up, let's pop in the hood, see what we got to work with under the bonnet there. Now, like you saw, the thing barely started. They say it stalls while driving and has lack of power, so I'm a little reluctant to drive it anywhere. Yeah, that's our little guy, 4.3 liters. It still has a distributor in the back. Spark plug wires look like they're probably the originals, so what, 20 years old? Yeah, 20-year-old spark plug ignition coils. Yeah, those look original right there. You see all the clips are still intact. Yeah, I don't think this thing's ever really had any work done to it. What is this? Got some dangly wires here. What is that? Hold on, what is that? Hang on, okay. Couple wires. Oh, that's a replacement pigtail for the ignition coil. Okay, so it has had some kind of work done to it. I don't think that's the issue though. All right, let's go grab that scan tool and see what's going on in the ECU. I hear a rattle noise down there too. Ah, found it. It's a heat shield on the exhaust. Okay, that's of no matter. Got bigger fish to fry. Yepper, scan tool says 2004 Silverado, two-wheel drive, 4.3. That's the RPO code LU3. Let's see what we've got here for some DTCs. I know they're in there. There's probably a bunch of them. Engine, automatic transmission, codes menu. What do we have? What's our codes menu tell us about this Silverado? Powertrain codes. Come on with it. Oh my gosh, P0128, coolant thermostat. That code usually indicates that the coolant temp did not come up to temperature within a predetermined amount of time. One can often hypothesize that the thermostat is stuck open or has like a leak at the seal. It won't leak externally, but there's excessive coolant flow, so it takes extra long to come up to temp. That probably indicates it just needs a thermostat. What I would normally do with a 128 is just pop the thermostat out and inspect it. If the thermostat's good, then there may be some kind of other issue, but 99.9% of the time, it just needs a thermostat. We've got the dreaded 4.3 liter P0300, engine misfire detected. P0341, camshaft position sensor circuit out of range. That's interesting. P0430, catalyst efficiency low on bank 2. And it's got other codes that seem to just come and go as they see fit. P0442, evap system small leak. And P0455, evap system large leak. It's probably got a stuck vent solenoid. Well, it's either the vent solenoid, it either actually has an actual leak at the fuel tank, fuel cap leak, or the purge solenoid up at the engine is leaking and is always purging. However, I don't think that's really the primary issue here. Let's go back out of this and check out our misfire data. What do we have for misfires? Data display, loading, misfire data. Let's see what we get here. They said it runs rough, so we're gonna see. Nothing so far. Let's give it some throttle. We're not misfiring right now. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this. Misfire history, cylinder 1, 37,000 misfires logged. Cylinder number 3, 14,000 misfires logged. Cylinder number 5, 12,000 misfires logged. So we've got something going on with the bank 1 on this engine. Let's check some other fuel trim data. That's what I want to see. Let's see some fuel trim action. Okay, right now it seems to be running okay. Look at here. Long-term fuel trim 25, short-term fuel trim, that's bank 2, that's in the negative. So we have a fuel trim imbalance. One side is rich, the other side is very lean. That is not good. Let's see what our O2s are up to. Okay, here's our O2 sensors. Bank 1 sensor 1, bank 1 sensor 2, bank 2 sensor 1. There is no bank 2 sensor 2, so we've got just one downstream sensor and then 2 upstream sensors. Okay. Now look at this here. I'm kind of giving this some throttle so it comes up to temp a little bit, and it is taking its sweet old time because I do think that thermostat's stuck open. But look at our fuel trims on bank 1. Short terms have leveled out and everybody's hovering around 0. So as of right now, this thing is acting exactly as it should be. It's got no issue. We started off at that 25 and the -3, and as it started to warm up, we end up with 0 and 0. We have balanced fuel trim. So at this point, the symptom is not present. I'm gonna have to let this thing run for a little while and see if it shows back up. That's, oh, here we go. Look at that. We're starting to get somewhere. Now we're at 16. Just happened. Let's go back and check our O2s. Something's going on with this. This is weird. Very strange, intermittent concern, I think. All right, a couple minutes later and it's starting to run really rough. Look at this thing. It's shaking back and forth, oscillating. It's misfiring, I think. Let's go and check our misfire counts. Let's give it some throttle, see what it does first. Kind of feels okay. Let's check our misfires on our scanning device here and see what if it's logging current misfires or not. It smells like raw fuel. I can smell it out there. It's getting stanky. Good thing I got a fan going. It's not logging current misfires just yet. That's a little odd. I was watching it do it, but why isn't the ECM picking up on it? Okay, back into data we go. Returning to sensor data. Check this out. Heated oxygen sensor, bank 1, sensor 1, and sensor 2. We've got sensor 2, that's stuck at like 900 millivolts, and look at number 1. That's going between 500, 0, 500 again, 0, 180, 0. So we've got a bank 1, sensor 1 is dropping out. Fuel trims, what are we doing on our fuel trims here? Long term number 1 and short term number 1 are maxed out or close to max. Look at 25, 26. And bank 2, those are hovering around 0. So we've identified that bank 1 is definitely the problem. We have misfires on bank 1. We've got an O2 sensor dropping out on bank 1. And we have misfires on bank 1. All right, you got a few things moved around here, and the things on the lift. I had the Subaru in here. We pulled the engine out of it. I'm gonna attempt one more time to get some extraction out of that broken bolt with the broken extractor stuck inside of it, but it's not looking good. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I got a better chance of extracting that out of the car than I do in the car. Anyways, let's get off this tangent on the Subaru engine. That's a side project, and we will return to the task at hand. So I've got that sensor ordered. Let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air, and I'm gonna see what I can do about removing that bank 1 sensor from the exhaust, and we're gonna swap it out with a new unit. Then we shall restock into the engine and see if this thing comes back into fuel trims where it should be. Scary up there. Whew. Okie dokes, moving down into her nether regions. We're on the driver's side exhaust. Passenger side is over yonder. Here is our suspected faulty / lazy sensor. That's bank 1. Upstream, that's in front of the catalytic converter. The downstream sensor, this vehicle is only going to have 1, and that's this unit right here. That's downstream of the converter. So we are looking for our connector on this guy. Looks fairly easy to access. See our little safety clip thing right here? That tells me that this thing probably has never been disconnected. A lot of times folks don't like to put those things back. So Let me reach in and unclick this guy. Get that removed. Pins look good, so we don't have a bad pin problem. The wiring harness looks decent from what I can see, so I'm gonna go ahead and proceed and extract this sensor right here. And we're waiting for the new one to arrive to swap the unit out. We're gonna need a handy dandy wrench, and I believe that's gonna be of the 22mm variety. And it's not there. Yeah, there's the 21, put that back. And there's the 22, which goes over there. We'll put that back later. That's a disaster right over here, waiting on parts. Eternal waiting, that's how it goes. So let's see, let's get in here, and hopefully this guy's gonna come out without pulling the threads with it. Sometimes it'll take the threads out of the exhaust and then ruin the pipe. I'm really hoping that's not gonna be the case in this particular scenario. It's usually a Toyota thing where they like to pull the threads out, but you never know. Oh, look at that, that was beautiful. Came right out. Did not expect that to happen. And they're free, look at that. All right, since this exhaust is still hot and that sensor's hot, I need to insulate myself. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, definitely running rich on that side. Look at all that soot buildup. That's not okay. Okay, so I don't know what's going on in the land of parts delivery, but they're taking an exceedingly long time to, well, to make parts become delivered. It's been hours. Either way, I've got a new O2 sensor. Let's get this thing screwed in here, torqued down, plugged in. It's gonna happen very, very quickly because it's a real easy job. And we'll go ahead and restart this engine and see what we can make of it. Click that on. And for good measure, we'll plug that little clip back in. Get on there, please. Come on, what are you doing? Oh man, it's not going in. There we go, got it. Okay, that's clicked in. Where's my wrench? I need my wrench. Oh, I put it somewhere where I wouldn't lose it, and that's how I lost it. These things happen. Anyway, let's put a little bit of torque on this thing right here. We're crushing the gasket. It's beginning to seal. A little more. There we go. Click action achieved. Okay, let's go ahead and climb down, or let this thing down rather, and get our goodies out of the way. Restart the engine. Let it come back up to temp, and we're going to see what those fuel trims start to do. I believe that we had a faulty sensor, but we're going to find out in a minute. Lock release. Silverado coming down. Oh, speaking of Silverado, I'm aware that folks have commented in the comment section that they've never heard someone say Silverado by expressing the term Silverado. And I do that for fun, because this job can become monotonous, and juicing up your words, I don't know, adds some spice to life out of it. So I enjoy calling them Silverados or Silvery Rados, or, you know, just like I call Doges or Dodge Doges and Nissans and things of that nature. So I'm just having some fun, and I'm having a good time. That's why I nickname these things whatever I nickname them. Anyway, restarting the engine. Okay, it started. Good. Let's pull up our data one more time. I really hope I was right about this. I'd hate to waste an O2 sensor on nothing. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to go back into sensor data. I'm going to pull up, not the graph this time, I'm just going to pull up the data PID. There's our PID list. And we're going to watch HO2 sensor, bank 1, sensor 1. I'm going to keep an eyeball on this thing for a little while and make sure that it does not start dropping out to 0. Now what I'm noticing right off the get-go is, see how we're in the higher value range? Let me move the white part down. We're in the 800s, 700s, 600s, so we're now biasing very high. And I think it's doing that because the fuel trims, we're running that bank so rich that it's now trying to pull back fuel trims. Oh yeah, look at that. Short-term fuel trim bank 1's in the max negative on short term, so it's trying to pull those long terms way down. Our long term for bank 1 was at the 25 mark, and our negatives are, it's eventually going to bring that long term down probably hovering it close to 0 or 1 to mimic the right side. I wonder if we can just skip past all that and do a fuel trim reset. It's a possibility. Let me check to see if I can do that with this truck. Functional test maybe? Let's go injector balance output controls. No, I don't think I can do it. I'll just have to let it rebalance itself by itself, I think. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, wait, whoa, there it is. Fuel trim reset. Look at that. Save us all some time. Some very valuable time. Fuel trim reset, resetting. Test complete. Fuel trim reset completed. So let's go back into fuel trim data. Data display. And fuel trim data, that's the one we want. Oh. Calculating short term. All right, so short term's now set to 0. Long terms are both set to 0. Cool. Let's let this thing come back up to operating temperature because it has cooled off. Then we can revisit all of our data and then kind of go from there. Be right back. Alrighty, let's do the misfire check. We're not doing the shaky. Give us some throttle. Nice, good throttle response. I like it. Let's go run back in here real quick. We'll check misfire counts on the scanner. No, I don't want to clear codes. No. How did that happen? I must have set the phone down on the scanner and it tried to do it for me. We're going into data. We're going into misfires. Let's see if we have any current and active misfires, which I don't think we do. 0, 0, 0. Let's give it some throttle. Throttle coming up, 0, 0, 0. And these are all the misfire history. Again, bank 1 was heavily misfiring. That seems to no longer be occurring. Let's go back up and check the current count one more time. Yeah, it's a big negative. We're looking good. Okay, backing out one more time. Let's go back into sensor data. Let's check that O2 and make sure it's not dropping out to 0. And then we can see what our fuel trims are. Look at that. Fuel trims hanging out in the negative, hanging out in the 0, short term and long term. After the reset, this is good. Everything is looking fantastic so far. I'm not going to completely dismiss that camshaft position sensor code, but I do need to visit that at some point because there is some other issues going on with this. At this point, what I need to do is go ahead and report some good news that the thing does run and does function, and I'm going to submit over an estimate to get this thing caught back up on maintenance. According to the oil change sticker, it is 14,560 miles past its oil change interval. Needs some wiper blades on it. It does need some spark plugs. Those wires are 20-something years old. I do need to put some wires in this. I would like to do the cap and rotor and probably the distributor that contains the camshaft position sensor. I think I'm going to recommend doing that. So we're going to do the full Monty extensive tune-up. That's going to be my suggestion moving forward. So at this point, I'm calling it good. This operation is halfway to success. Oh, and the thermostat. We also need to do the thermostat. So I'm going to see if we're going to do anything further on this vehicle or if we're just going to let it ride as is. So that being said, it's time for me to go ahead and close this video out right about now. And I will do such things as always by thanking each and every one of you guys for watching this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this diagnostic and quick repair video, please feel free to comment down below what you thought about it. Let me know what you think I did right. Let me know if you think I did something wrong. Did I miss something? Did I get it all? Please share your thoughts. Again, in the comment section below. Don't forget that like button while you're down there. And most importantly, have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. Indy Chevrolet Silverado 2004 4.3 liter V6 in the video, in the transmission.